Okay. Welcome back to the conference, and now we are going to start the second panel for today. And the second panel is, as I mentioned, this is an academic presentation by the Iraqi students studying in Japan. So we have 4 Iraqi students studying in Japan in various fields. 2 on the social and human sciences, and 1 is studying on the dentist studies, and the 4th is very difficult to summarize. I don't know how what can I say, but in the technical science or natural science. Well, anyhow, we have 4 speakers, 4 Iraqi students, so it's a good chance to evaluate how the Japanese education to the Iraqi students. Okay, first I'd like to invite Mr. Haidar Reza Muhammad to be the first speaker. Well, actually, he is my student, so please. So he has about 15 minutes for the presentation.
Thank you very much, Professor Sakai-sensei. Thank you, everyone. So my topic today is about the tribalization in Iraq, mainly about Saddam regime, during Saddam regime, the retribalization policy. So in the aftermath of the Gulf War in 1991, Saddam regime lost control over the vast territories in Iraq. Meanwhile, the tribal society became essentially important and began playing an important role in political and social life in Iraq. So the main question I want to write here is that why the regime relied on tribal societies to stabilize the security in Iraq, and how the regime manipulate the tribal society or the tribal leaders in Iraq. So, retribalization and manipulation of tribal society in Iraq have been used as a tool by different political actors since the Ottoman rules in Iraq from 16th century until today. So, but of course I focusing about retribalization during Saddam regime. So my theoretical framework is based on failed state or collapsed state. So according to failed states or collapsed states suffer from limited power to influence social control. According to Rothberg, failed state can be characterized as undergoing violent conflict. Often the state has little to no effective control over outlying areas and little connection or support from most of the majority of the population. In failed or collapsed state, many actors appear, such as sectarian militias, mafias, tribes, and when the state failed to provide or security or function, the people will rely on those actors in order to ensure their stability, security, and material interest. So, basic understanding of the tribal society. So, a tribe means ashira in Arabic, refers to a group of people that sharing common male ancestor. And the word sheikh refers to the tribe leaders. And the word imara refers to the group of tribes joined together for protection. And this is mainly during the Ottoman Empire, where the tribe gained a lot of power and they formed kind of mini-state in Iraq. I will talk about it later. And among the tribal societies, Sade occupy a special status. The Sade claim to be the descendants of the Prophet Muhammad, the founder of Islam, and to be Sayyid is a matter of birth. It's kind of a class society. So, historical background, during the Ottoman Empire rule in Iraq, the tribe sheikh was at the same time political and military leader. Especially in the beginning of the Ottoman rule until mid of 19th century, the Ottoman were busy in Iraq fighting against the Iranian forces. So in that time, the tribe leaders gained power because they form a kind of mini-state, which is called Imara. So it's functioning like mini-state, and they have their own law, but they pay taxes to the Ottoman, and they provide forces to the Ottoman Empire to fight against the Iran. And in the mid-century, of 19th century, the tribe leaders lost some power due to the centralization and a new law of land reform. So to empower the central government of administration of the Ottoman, the tribe leaders lost some power. But after the British invasion in 1918, the British also relied on the tribe leaders, especially before invasion of south of Iraq. They started contacting some tribe leaders to get support, and the monarchy, the new regime in Iraq in 1920s and 30s, they relied on the wealthy tribe leaders and even the British, and they appointing them to help them with the security, stabilizing. So the most of the tribe leaders, they were encouraged to join to the political life, and most of them they become member of the tribal parliament. Sorry. So detribalization in modern era. After the event of 14th of July in 1958, the army led by Abdul Karim Qasim came to power, and changing from monarchy to republic system, tribe leaders lost most of their power due to the land reform, and which is called al-Islah al-Zira'i, and also they lost their position in the government due to socialist lead policy. And later in 1963, another military coup by Abdul Salam Arab. Abdul Salam Arab, when he came to power, he relied on his own tribe or clan, Al-Ajili, which he appointed some of them to be a leader of the Republican Guard in order to prevent any military coup. But the socialist policy continued for the land reform. And when Ba'ath Party came to power in 1968, the party announced its rejection to the sectarianism and tribalism, and it considered them as residues of colonialism and connected the tribe leaders with the feudalism. And also they introduced more extremist left land reform. So the changes began in the 1980s during the Iraq-Iran war. So the regime needed fighters. So the policy was changed toward the tribal societies, and the tribe started providing soldiers to the army. So the regime was rewarding the loyal tribes to the regime or to Saddam regime with providing them with services to their villages. But even the things more changed during the uprising. In 1991, when in 1990 Saddam's regime invaded Kuwait, and after that the Gulf War. So when the regime collapsed in the south mainly, so the Shia uprised against the regime, which is called Intifada. The regime started relying on the tribes, especially some tribes did not involve in this Intifada. And the media were showing that the tribe were heroes and were supporting the government against the rebels and so on. So, and in order to justify his decision, Saddam Hussein told to the Ba'ath Party that he did turn to the sheikhs because of the shameful act of the party members in the south who fled their posts during the 1991 uprising in the south. So, as I mentioned before, like the Ba'ath Party and even before the Ba'ath Party and those changes against the tribe leaders and the land reforms, but when Saddam relied on the tribe, there was like some discussion maybe around the Ba'ath Party members. So Saddam in the meeting of the Ba'ath Party, he mentioned that. So these measures cannot keep the superior state of the state against the society in the post-Gulf War in Iraq. And also the annexion. So the society, tribal society, became very important in Iraq until today. And they gain more and more power. So in the 19th century, the Ottoman used the tribes to stabilize the region, and so did the British. Saddam Hussein also used the tribes for security reasons after the Gulf War and during the selection as the state became weaker. So Saddam, pressured by the sequences of the disasters such as Iraq-Iran War and the Gulf War of 1991 and the selection which led the regime to build partnership with the tribes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Haidao. He is a current student of under me, I couldn't bear to listen to how the audience will react to your presentation. This is kind of the partially responsible for me. So next, I'd like to invite Ahmad Amir. And he is a PhD student in the Kyushu University, and he used to be my student in the Tokyo University of Foreign Studies. So I feel a little bit nervous when I listen to his presentation. So he's going to talk about nuclear. Yes. Mechanism of both ANSCOM and AMOBIC, eliminating the Iraqi weapon of mass destruction. Okay, so Ahmed.
皆さんこんにちは。日本語で自己紹介したいと思います。アハメド・アル・アジーリと申します。2009年から日本に住んでいます。今は九州、前は東京外国大学で勉強したんですけども、高井先生の師匠で、今は九州大学の指導教員は山尾先生。はい、今日はよろしくお願いいたします。So my name is Ahmed. I came to Japan 2009 and I'm doing my PhD at Kyushu University. Today I'm going to make a presentation about my PhD topic. It's about the mechanism of negotiation between ANSCOM and ANMOBIC to eliminate the weapons of mass destruction of Iraq, which is quite a controversial issue until now. So coming to the outline, it's introduction, ANSCOM and ANMOBIC, objective of the study, problem statement, research methodology, data analysis and interpretation, difficulties and obstacles. Introduction. So after the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in 1990s and the outbreak of the Gulf War, 1990-1991, the UN condemned this invasion and through demanding Iraq to immediate withdrawal from Kuwait and imposing the economic sanctions according to the UN Security Council Resolution number 661 on Iraq in August 6, 1990. One of the UN resolutions was to eliminate the Iraqi weapons of mass destruction, creating the UN, they creating the UNSCOM, which is the abbreviation of the United Nations Special Commission. UNSCOM has been established by UN Security Council Resolution number 687, April 1991. The job of UNSCOM was to oversee Iraq's compliance with the destruction of the chemical, biological, and missile weapons facilities and cooperate with the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, to eliminate the nuclear weapons facilities. So, to disarm Iraq of its weapons of mass destruction, chemical, biological weapons, and missiles with the range of more than 150 kilometers. Then to operate a system of ongoing monitoring and verification to check Iraq's compliance with its obligations, not to require the same weapons prohibited to it by the Security Council. The Sweden diplomat, Dr. Hans Blix, as you can see, this is Dr. Hans Blix, has been appointed as an unexecutive chairman of UNSCOM. One of the 5th general training course for the future of UNSCOM, UNMOVIC inspectors, which all held in Geneva, Swiss, on February 18 until March 22, 2002. Dr. Hans Blix has clarified the fundamental principles of UNMOVIC. One is the differences between the UNSCOM. He was clarifying during that workshop about the difference between the old one, UNSCOM, and the new one, UNMOVIC, and also how to improve the tasks that entrusted to the new organization, UNMOVIC, and to avoid the previous mistakes. Third, to continue verifying or disarming the Iraqi weapons of mass destruction. And last, the main principles were inspection is not occupation, inspection is not espionage, and the inspection reports must be accurate. So here in this table I want to show the difference between UNSCOM and UNMOVIC. UNSCOM, years of service of UNSCOM was from 1991 until 1998, while UNMOVIC from 1999 until 2007. UNSCOM, the chairman was Ralph Akios from Sweden, and then Richard Butler from Australia, and then finally Charles Dolphus, who was the officer of the CIA. The UNMOVIC, the chairman of the UNMOVIC was Dr. Hans Blix. The UNSCOM created through the UN Security Council Resolution 687, 1991, while the UNMOVIC created through the UN Security Council Resolution 11284 on December 1999. The reports of UNSCOM was not going directly to the UN Security Council, while the reports of the UNMOVIC was going directly to the UN Security Council. The hegemony of the American and Britain inspectors was so high, while in UNMOVIC, the hegemony of the American and Britain inspectors was low. This is one of the controversial issues, but between the previous Iraqi government, they were objected all the time why you do not involve other inspectors from other countries to be more globalized, not only the American and Britain. So the other thing is the members was not based on the multinationalities. Here the members based on the multinationalities, as I mentioned. UNSCOM was not able to close most of the files relating to the disarmament of Iraq, while UNMOVIC was able to close most of the files relating to the disarmament of Iraq. The powers of the chairman was reduced. Here on UNMOVIC, the powers of the chairman was reduced. Here it was not reduced, sorry. Here on UNMOVIC was reduced. The standard of the staff was less efficiency and integrity on UNSCOM, while in UNMOVIC the staff was selected on the basis of the securing and highest standard of efficiency and integrity. On UNSCAM, the staff has been appointed by contract, so it was contract for them to work there, temporary job, while the staff of UNMOVIC were employees, belong to United Nations, so it was permanent job. So in this diagram, I just want to show that, draw a map about how was the mechanism of the UNSCAM and UNMOVIC. So UNMOVIC was the other job of UNMOVIC is to monitoring also the weapons of mass destruction. They use some of the cameras, security cameras, to set on some of the sites and factories in Iraq to secure that Iraq also have been eliminated the whole facilities to create any kind of chemical weapons. So here is the UN, as you can see. So first step is to investigating by doing interviews, monitoring, intelligence, technologies. Also they use technologies by using this satellite channel to overseeing the Iraqis' factories and other facilities, and also by using some of the laboratories that have been moved from north part to south part to east part, west part of Iraq. So that was new technology have been used, and also site visiting. So site visiting was like it was randomly, plus the main job of UNSCAM to visit the factories. Also they visit also some of the ministries, farms, warships, places, schools, universities, and eliminating so nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, biological weapons, missile, with the range over than 150 kilometers, and then reporting. So reporting about, according to the finding, cooperation of Iraq disposed weapons. Those reports should be submitted every 3 months. So it was periodical reports, and then to have it submitted to the UN, and then UN they have to report about their job to Iraq, what they did, what they achieved, and what not have been achieved yet. Here also, so my analysis to the situation at that time, it was from political perspective, we can see that politically it was containing Saddam's regime, as one of the inspectors, Scaffold, I have interviews for him. He said that clearly that it was politically highly politicized, this kind of issue, and also economically by imposing the economic sanctions by the UN Security Council Resolution 687. Security was to ensure peace of the Middle East, especially Israel. And military, from the military perspective, is to eliminate the weapons of mass destruction, which it was the main job of the UNSCAM. Objective of the study, this study tries to shed light on the effective procedures of UNSCAM and UNMOVIC from a different angle. This different angle is based on the documents that recently have been declassified. Those new documents can make more coherent and in-depth understanding of the mechanism of both UNSCAM and UNMOVIC. To demonstrate the reaction of the response of the Iraqi government to cooperate with the international organization. Problem statement, so why Iraq has changed its nuclear policy from peaceful uses to military uses during 1980s. And what obstacles have prevented the negotiations go successfully between Iraq and the international body? Also, what was the difference between the mechanism of both UNSCAM and UNMOVIC in tackling with the Iraqi weapons of mass destruction? Research methodology is based on 3 kinds of analysis: discourse analysis, thematic analysis, and narrative analysis. Data analysis and interpretation. So, as I mentioned before, that this research has mostly relied on the primary references: Security Council resolutions, newspaper articles, published works by the elite people, interviews with the former Iraqi officials, interviews with the Iraqi scientists who used to work in the Iraqi nuclear program. And also, as for the sources of the documents used in this research comes from so those kind of documents new have been, some of them have been classified like 1 year ago or 2 years ago or even before 6 months. So I'm analyzing, in the process of analyzing the documents of the National Archives of the United Kingdom, the National Security Archives of George Washington University, the U.S. Department of the State, the U.S. National Archives, the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, and some other UN departments. Difficulties and obstacles as accurate figures were not available due to the confidentiality and non-disclose of the information. This leads to estimates that can vary widely by source and across time. Also, this case is highly politicized, and its politicization has negatively, dramatically impacted on the cooperation between the international body and the Iraqi government. It is still a contemporary question and needs more time to declassify more documents and to investigate also more deeply on hidden facts in the future. That's all for my presentation today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Okay, and next presentation will be done by Mr. Nuruddin Ali Saeed. He's from Tokyo 医科歯科大学Tokyo Medical Dental University, and you came to Japan last year, right? 2017, yeah. Okay, and he well, actually, he sent us a lot of slides, PowerPoint file showing the lot of pictures of the teeth. So, I hope that you enjoy his presentation on the dental adhesive research at the Tokyo Medical and Dental University. So, please.
Good evening. My name is Nuruddin Al Saeed. I am from Baghdad, Iraq. And it's my pleasure to be part of the 10th Academic Iraq-Japanese Conference. A short background about my study. I graduated from Al-Mustansiriya University in 2008, and I obtained my master's degree from the same university in 2014. I came to Japan in 2017 as a research student under the Japanese government mixed scholarship, and now I am enrolled at TMDU, Tokyo Medical and Dental University, to earn my PhD at Cardiology and Operative Dentistry. A short note about my previous school, Al-Mustansiriya University. The original Al-Madrasa Al-Mustansiriya was founded in the 12th century. It's considered one of the oldest university in the world, and its building still exists on the left bank of Tigris in Baghdad. The modern Al-Mustansiriya University was established in 1963, and now it has 13 colleges. The College of Dentistry established in 2000, and it offers different kind of undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in dentistry. For my current school, Tokyo Medical and Dental University, it possesses the longest history as a national dental university in Japan. It is located in Yoshima area, which is considered a sacred ground for learning and research. And its symbols, the plum blossom, is obtained from Yoshima Shrine, which is located near the university. TMDU has 3 colleges, 3 graduated schools, 3 campuses and 2 hospitals. TMDU ranked first in Japan and 4th in the world in terms of dentistry, according to the QS World Ranking for Universities in 2017. In the same year, TMDU ranked first in Asia in terms of scientific paper research. So now to my topic, what's dental caries and tooth decay? Dental caries is the process where the tooth structure is break due to acid attack. This acid attack is results from bacteria ingest food debris that present in the oral cavity. If the mineral loss from the tooth structure more than the mineral deposition from the saliva, then caries result. This dental caries is considered one of the major oral health problems that affect about 60 to 90% of school children and vast majority of adults. It is 5 times as common as asthma and 7 times as common as hay fever. This silent epidemic disease disproportionately affect the disadvantaged communities like children and elder seniors, and it is usually associated with the poverty and poor oral health. The best approach for the treatment of dental caries is the use of metallic amalgam restoration. This kind of restoration, besides its health hazard because it contains mercury, this kind of restoration requires a large amount of tooth structure. Healthy tooth structure is to be removed in order to achieve a sufficient strength and retention. And this kind of restoration doesn't adhere to the tooth structure, which make a gap present between the tooth structure and the restoration, which make the bacterial invasion happen again and recurrent caries established, and the dentist need to cut more and more until there is no remaining tooth structure to hold the restoration. Dental adhesives offer an alternative, more conservative approach for the treatment of dental caries. In this picture, we can see a typical class 2 dental caries defect. For the treatment of such cases, we have 2 options. First, either with the amalgam restoration, and second with composite restoration that use dental adhesives. In the left picture, we can see the proposed outline for the amalgam restoration, which require a healthy tooth structure to be cutted and destructive process, and just in order to achieve a good retention and stability in the oral cavity. While for the right picture, we can see the composite restoration require the removal only of the decayed tooth structure. These pictures, we can see the final restoration, and we can see how the composite restoration that use dental adhesive is more conservative and more aesthetically pleasing. This picture, we can see that more aesthetic options are available by using dental adhesives, since the restorative material that use dental adhesive are available in different shades and colors. So, what is dental adhesive? Dental adhesive is a mixture of ingredients to form a material that allow for the adhesion of restorative material to the tooth structure. Dental adhesive usually consists of the resin monomers, curing initiators, stabilizers, solvents, and inorganic fillers. In this chart, we can see the historical evolution of the bonding agent. We can see that the research on dental adhesive is an ongoing process dating back to the late 1950s. The research was focused on the improving of the dental adhesive, its strength, and to simplify the steps that in order to use the dental adhesives. One of the major points of this evolution in the late 1970s, Dr. Fusayama, the head of my department at that time, make a major discovery and invention by the introduction of the total edge technique. This technique is widely used nowadays among the dentists around the world. A few years later, Dr. Nakabayashi, another graduate student from my department at that time, also make a major discovery, and that helped us to better understand what's dental adhesive nowadays. Now I will talk about my department, cardiology and operative dentistry. My major is easily defined as the study, diagnosis, and management of diseases of the teeth and their supporting structure, and the rehabilitation of the dentition to functional and aesthetic requirement of the individual. The research at my department cover a broad range of subjects, ranging from caries process to the material science research. For that, we can easily categorize the research into dental caries research. This type of research deals with the formation, development, and progression, prevention, and removal of dental caries. This kind of research includes the biofilm research. Biofilm is a thin film that forms around the tooth structure. It is mainly consists of bacteria and remaining food debris, and it is considered one of the most important factors in caries and tooth decay. Researchers investigate a new and innovative ways to remove this biofilm at early stage, like, for example, the using of alkaline water and ozone disinfected water. In the saliva buffering research, the researchers investigate the saliva buffering capacity and the saliva ability to remineralize and reverse the tooth decay process. While in the last topic, the remineralization research, in this topic, the researchers investigate artificial compounds and material that can help saliva into gaining its lost minerals after tooth decay. The second part of the research at my department is the material research, and it is focused on the mechanical and physical properties of the dental adhesive and restorative material. For example, the main topic is the durability of adhesion. In this kind of research, the researchers investigate the mechanism of degradation of adhesion in the oral cavity by subjecting the samples to similar environment that exists in the oral cavity. The second topic is the interfacial nanoleakage. This kind of research focuses on the gap that form around the restoration. This kind of research is important because any kind of leakage or gap form around the restoration means that the restoration is failed. For the last topic, the mechanical characteristic of adhesive, this research, the researchers investigate the different kind of physical and mechanical properties of the adhesive and restorative material. Example of this research include microtensile bond strength and tensile bond strength, shear bond strength. It's kind of strength that we use to test the toughness and how the restoration is suitable for the oral cavity. So what is the future goals for the dental adhesive research? In my opinion, there are two main goals for the research for dental adhesives. Researchers hope to find a strong preventive material that can combat caries at early stage. At the same time, this material should have strong and compatible with the oral cavity for long service of restoration in the oral cavity. Thank you very much for your kind listening.
Thank you very much. Well, I remember that when I was in Baghdad in the late 80s, one of my colleagues, she was working in the Japanese company in Baghdad, and she had the trouble in her teeth. And then she went to the dentist in Baghdad, and everybody said that, wow, it's dangerous, and it's better to go back to Japan to take care of the teeth. But she dared to go to the dentist in Baghdad, and then it was beautifully done. Everything was okay, and when she came back to Japan and went to the Japanese dentist, the Japanese dentist said, "Wow, where did you remove your teeth?" And she go back to Baghdad, and then she told told that the dentist that wow, your technology was really respectable, and who are you? Then that dentist said, I'm a private dentist for Ahmad Hassan Bako, the ex-president. Yeah, so well, that shows that there are very excellent dentists in Baghdad, even though that they were used by the former regime. But anyhow, so now I'd like to invite the last speaker, Satya J. Hassan. And he's from Kanazawa University, and he also came to Japan last year, this year? Oh yeah, last year. Okay. So he.
Good evening, everyone. So today I'll talk about my topic, which is nitrogen removal from ammonia-rich wastewater by sulfate reduction, denitrification elements, and partial nitrification process. I'm sorry if it's kind of difficult to understand. I try to make it as simple as much as I can. So first I will introduce myself. My name is Satya Hassan. I'm from Babylon City, and I came to Japan last year, 2017, in April, as an international student in Kanazawa University under a mixed scholarship. So first, I will show you some slide about the city that I live now, which is Kanazawa City. So this is Kanazawa Station. So the first thing that catch your eyes as soon as you get off in Kanazawa Station is the unique design of the building. As you can see, it's mixed between the Japanese traditions and the modern lifestyle. You can see this is the giant wooden gate, which is similar to the Japanese shrine gate. And if you walk a few steps out of the station, you will notice that you will be surprised that the design of the station is similar to a samurai helmet. You can see the similarity. And this is the beautiful roof of the station. It's made complete of glass. So, the second place is one of my favorite places. It's Higashi Chaya district, which means Higashi is east and Chaya is tea house in Japanese. So, this area is established 200 years ago, and the style of the traditional houses. And if you go there, you can see Japanese ladies wearing kimono, and you can also enjoy the geisha performance almost every night, and also you can eat the ice cream, which is covered with real gold, which is a specialty of Kanazawa City. And the third slide is Kanazawa Castle, which is a symbol of the city. So the castle is built in the 16th century, and unfortunately it has been destroyed or burned in the last 500 years, like several times. And in the near past, after the World War II, the castle became the main campus for the new Kanazawa University, and it became a national historic site since 2008. The last place I want to show you is Kunrokon Garden. Kunrokon Garden is just a few steps away from Kanazawa Castle. There is Kunrokon Garden, which is one of the 3 great gardens in Japan, and it covers an area of 100,000 square meters, and back to the 17th century. So that was a few places I showed you about Kanazawa City. And now I will talk about my topic. This is the last slide. This is the Kunrokon in different seasons of the year. You can see the same spots in different seasons. And this is also the view from top. So, this is my topic, finally. So, nitrogen. So, nitrogen and phosphor are two of the most important parameters that control the water quality. They are primary nutrients, and they are essential for the production of the planet's and the animals' tissues. However, there is limits that the concentration should never exceed these limits, as if it's exceeding these limits will cause excessive growth of algae, causing eutrophication and other serious impacts. So the eutrophication, as you can see, is the eutrophication. The whole place, the whole water body will be green, covered with algae. The simple explanation is too much of good things, but the more scientific explanation is that the nitrogen, the excessive amount of nitrogen from fertilizers or from the wastewater, the animal wastewater, and also the human wastewater, and also the untreated water from the factories, when it gets to the water, this high concentration of the nutrients will cause excessive growth for the algae, and this will cover the whole water surface, which will prevent the light from going inside the water, and that's so all the fish and the aquatic life will die because there is no oxygen, so they will die, and when they die, the decay will even deplete more the oxygen and make the places unsuitable place for living. So this is other parameters control water quality, such as pH or chemical oxygen demand, biological oxygen demand, heavy metals, and so on. So the impacts of this of the excessive amount of nitrogen. So there's the health. The first is the health impacts. So the excessive amount of nitrogen causes serious health risk to the human, especially the pregnant women, and also cause the blue baby syndrome to the infants, which is cause brain damage or death. The blue baby syndrome is the nitrogen will reduce when it gets to the body. It will reduce the blood carrying capacity for the oxygen, which will lead to damage in the organs and death as ultimate results. So also the harmful algae also can sick people who use this water for drinking and swimming and other purposes. Effects on the environment. This algae can release toxins that kill fish and the other animals that eat this fish. As I explained, it will block the sunlight, cause eutrophication, and block the fish gills. And also the acid rain, which is damaging the lakes and the grasslands and the forests. It will also cause economical loss, which is increasing of water treatment cost, and also the acid. I'm sorry, I didn't put this. So this is the eutrophication again. This is the acid rain damage to the building. You can see the difference between how this status is damaged, and also the liberty of the state of liberty also. Well, this is imaginary how it was and now how it became because of the reaction. So the source of the pollution, the agriculture is the largest source of nitrogen and phosphor pollution. The livestock wastewater, such as the cattle, the cows, the pigs, and sheep, and other livestock, which has their waste has high nitrogen concentrations. Also, excessive fertilizers applied to crops, which will all end in the soil and then eventually, or the water body, and eventually due to the soil erosion, they will end up in the water. Also, the urban and the industry also increase the nitrogen concentrations. So, in many places of the world, the houses are not served by. There's many places in the world that they are not served by wastewater treatment plants, and they dispose their waste directly into the river. And even if there is treatment plants, some of them, they don't remove the nitrogen properly. And in addition, also the landfill and the septic tanks, which has extremely high concentrations of nitrogen, all end up in the water body. Plus the industrial wastewater, which is discharged in many places of the world, just discharged directly into the water, which is also, its concentration depend on what kind of industry it is. The final, actually it's not the final, there's many reasons, but the final reason I'm presenting today is the power generation, the industry, and the transportations. All of them increase the nitrogen concentrations in the air and also in the soil and in the water as equal. So and that's due to the fossil fuel combustion. So nitrogen removal method. The first method is the conventional method, which is the most widely used method. The conventional method consists of two parts: it's nitrification and denitrification. In the nitrification, the ammonium due to this bacteria, the AOB, the ammonium oxides to nitrites, and then due to the nitrite oxiding bacteria, the NOB, it's the nitrites oxides to nitrates. And then the denitrification process, which is the nitrates finally became oxygen, and this is the way we remove the ammonium to get the nitrogen gas into the atmosphere. So, however, this process has disadvantage, which is consumes high energy, large amount of sludge, external carbon source, and insufficient nitrogen removal efficiency. The second is the other way, which is the unique or the new way, is the anamox or anaerobic ammonium oxidation. It's a new or it's unique way to remove the nitrogen, to remove the ammonium. All we need is ammonium and nitrite to remove the nitrogen gas. So the discovery of this process modified the nitrogen cycle in nature. So earlier was in order to remove the ammonium, we have to go through the nitrification and the denitrification to go to the N2, which is the nitrogen gas, which is the ultimate goal. This is the old way. So the new way is this. Sorry, is this one. This one. So it's shortcut. We can simply and easily get the nitrogen gas from the ammonium directly. All we need is nitrite, which is NO2. So this process consumes less energy, which means less cost. It's take less area, produce less amount of sludge or waste, and also high removal efficiency, and there is no need for organic carbon source. So the history of this process in 1932, few researchers noticed that there is the nitrogen gas generated from a lake in the U.S. Without specific mechanism. There was no such path or mechanism for this process. In 1965, they noticed a regular loss in the ammonium in the experiment, so there was no explanation for that, so they just ignored it. In the 1977, this scientist Broda, he predicted the existence. He said, okay, there's two microorganisms. They are able to convert directly the ammonium into nitrogen gas. And more than 1990s, he noticed these microorganisms, and he called them with the current name, which is anamox, which is found to have a significant removal percentage, or has a significant removal of unwanted ammonium, which is from 24 to 67% of the nitrogen production. So the objective of the study is to evaluate the overall performance of the anamox process in nitrogen removal efficiency from cattle wastewater, which has high concentrations. So this is the reactor. The reactor, so this, since the cattle wastewater has high concentrations of ammonium, we use this reactor, which is consist of anaerobic, anoxic, oxic. The anaerobic is without oxygen, anoxic and oxic with oxygen. So this is the real reactor. It's inside an incubator. And this is the flow diagram of the reactor. So the reactor, as I said, so the reactor operates in 2 runs at the same time. They are identical. So I will explain only on one, which is implies to the other one. The first, the anaerobic bubble. The anaerobic has activated sludge taken from real wastewater treatment plants. The artificial wastewater, which is similar to the real wastewater we made, and goes through the first anaerobic column, and then flows to the second. The effluent or the out of the anaerobic flows into the anoxic, along with added nitrites. And in the anoxic, we have the anomox reaction occur, and then the effluent will go to the oxic tank. So this is the performance of the first reactor, the anaerobic reactor. So this is the theory, what should happen, and this is what is really happening, and fortunately they match. So the first one, we can see that the sulfate is reduced to sulfite, which is, if we compare the in and the outs, the green, the water green, we can see that the concentration is decreasing for both sulfates and also for the DOC, which is organic carbon. So the reality matched the theory in the first one. In the anoxic one, we have 3 reactions, and for the most important reactions is this one, which is the new outcome, or the uniqueness about this research is that we can see that the NO2 here in this figure is also decrease, and the ammonium also decrease. If we compare the black one with the black line with the blue line, so again the theory matched the reality, and there's no problem. The problem was here, and was fortunately, after changing the many conditions in the reactor, we were able to get good results. So this reaction, the ammonium is converted to nitrites, and we can see that the ammonium concentration decrease and the nitrite is increasing, which is what we want. After 1 year of struggling, we were able to obtain these results. And this is the microbial community to detect the bacteria. I will explain only the one which is the most important, this bacteria. The existence, the abundance of this bacteria is really interesting, because the concentrations of the nitrogen in the livestock wastewater is really high, and in such concentrations, this bacteria cannot exist. But in this analysis, we were able to detect this bacteria. So it was kind of new and unique results. And the conclusion that in the anaerobic, the sulfate reduction occurred, in the anoxic, the anomox, which is the most important, occurred. And the microbial community analysis shows the existence of this bacteria, which is a new discovery, because we are examining high concentrations wastewater. So that was all. Sorry for that. Thank you so much. Sorry, there was much details. I tried to make it as possible.
It was clear. So thank you very much. So now we have about half an hour for discussion and the question and answer. So all I hope that all the students come to the stage to receive the questions. By the way, I forgot to tell all the audience that all the students, please sit down, all the students are supported by the either JICA support or Monbu Kagakusho or fund, the Japanese government fund. So, okay, and now we like you to answer the question. So any questions, please raise your hand and any comment or suggestion or advice. Yes, please. Microphone is coming.
Thank you very much for this lectures. I want to ask you, with your knowledge now,
Yes.
do you have an explanation for the last catastrophe in Iraq for the, the fish in the lakes? Huh?
Well, as soon as I saw it, I was, wow, this is almost what I'm searching for.
Yeah.
That the wastewater that, in many places in our country, they just dispose.
Yes.
There's no real, people who's watching or there's no rules. And even if there's rules, there's no one who really makes sure that these rules are applied. So this could be one of the reasons that the industries they dispose the water directly into the water, which will eventually will consumes the oxygen, and then the fish or the creatures inside they will have no enough oxygen, so they die, and that will make it even worse that the others will die. So it could be one of the reasons. But I think they are still investigating. They take samples and
I don't know.
yeah, they take samples. But I think they haven't announced anything yet.
Maybe the waste of the fish also could increase
So
nitrogen.
normally, these fish is. They are in a river, so the water will take the waste away. So maybe it's not that much effect, because it's not like a closed lake. So I think the waste will, the water will flow, will take it away.
No, the waste was not taken away by the river because they are put
In the cages.
in a cage.
Yeah, but I think the cage is just to prevent the fish from going outside,
The
not to
number of
prevent.
fish is very.
Yeah, it could be actually. That was also it's one of the reasons that the number of the fish is really.
They have no space.
Yeah, so it's just they exaggerate with the numbers. So it could be.
They want a huge water.
Yeah, when you try to take advantage of the nature has its own way to revenge. And the fish was the victim, unfortunately.
Another question or comment? Yes. Maybe somebody translate his Arabic to Japanese or English, and then.
السلام عليكم. أنا الآن سؤال هو أتحدث عن الطائفية القبلية متجذرة يعني بالتاريخ الإسلامي احنا نقراها يعني أساس العراق هو القبائل هي دخلت هي قبلية يعني أنا بس هو بدأ البحث مالك بديت من التاريخ العثماني أنا كنت أتمنى عليك أنه تتجذر أكثر تروح إلى يعني القرن السادس الميلادي يعني بهاي الفترة خلال 13 هجرية يعني قابل تقريبا 637 ميلادية كذا في الحدود بدأت القبائل العربية تدخل للعراق وتفتحها يعني فتح العراق ومن هناك بدأت القبائل بدأت بالبصرة وبدأت بالكوفة وانتشرت هذه القبائل وأخذت ما يسمى بالخطط لويس ماسينون ألف كتابا بالفرنسية والترجمة العربية عن خطط الكوفة، وكو عندنا خطط البصرة موجودة، واستمر هذا الشيء يعني التوزيع القبلي، وهذا التوزيع القبلي أصبح القبيلة تتفرع إلى بطون، والبطون إلى عشيرة، والعشيرة إلى فصائل، هكذا أجزاء القبيلة. أنا بس بديت شفت لك إياها من تاريخ العثماني يعني، بس كنت توضح تعطينا فكرة أكثر. شكرا جزيلا.
You translate what he asked you and you give your answer.
So the professor from Iraq, he asked me why I started from the Ottoman Empire, not going back to 6th century. Actually, the history of tribe is really old. I was showing to my wife also about a paper of the family tree in Iraq, which is going back like to more than 1,000 years. But actually, my thesis, my PhD thesis, is about in the post-Saddam era, after 2003. But today it's really long, you know. So today I try to summarize it only during Saddam regime. So actually I'm just writing about the revival of tribalism in the post-Saddam era. So that's why it's a really long topic, and I try to summarize it. That's why I didn't say tribalism in Iraq started from the Ottoman Empire. I just said how it was manipulated by the political actors since the Ottoman or even before.
الأستاذ حيدر، القبلية في العراق في عهد صدام بالثمانينات قبل حرب الخليج الأولى كانت تختفي تقريبا يعني، والدليل على ذلك أن يمنع كتابة اسم اللقب. يعني هاي واضحة. هاي سياسة. لا 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 يعني أنا أتكلم أنه الدكتورة تعرف المعلومة يعني من الثمانينات حتى فترة الحرب احنا وإيران، العراق وإيران، كانت اللقب يعني مو فد شيء بالعراق. وبال 86 87 صدر قرار يعني ماكو، يصير رباعي فقط ماكو. لكن المشكلة اللي عندنا الأسس القبلية وجذرها بالورا ال 91 حرب الخليج، حتى أصبح المثل شيوخ التسعين، أصبح مثل عندنا بالعراق الشيخ والسيد والرمز علي، لأنه من ضعف النظام القانون الوضعي يعني قوى القانون العشائري أو العرف العشائري.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
هو العفو آسف جدا، هو أسس لمرحلة ما بعد 2003 أنه سيادة العشيرة وسيادة النظام القبلي.
Yeah, I mentioned in my sorry. So the professor was telling me about some information which I already mentioned it in my paper about that during the 1980s the regime banned the use of tribe names. It banned even before the 1980s, but it started like the retribalization from the 1980s, like with the it started, but 1990s it was very strong. Not only the government not relied only on the tribal societies, but also on religious groups, like the what it called the Al-Hamla al-Imaniyya, and that's like it was very clear after 2003. That's how we got the sectarian violence and the tribalization after 2003. It's all because of 1991 after the Gulf War. So when the state collapsed, he relied on tribal societies, tribal leaders. He relied on religious groups when he created that Al-Hamla al-Imaniyya. Yes, thank you. I mentioned that in my paper. Thank you.
I think that he needs a lot of information from inside of Iraq, and especially I told him that he has to find tribal law which was introduced in the 90s, and I know that it was introduced, but I don't have a text for the tribal law.
Yes, and also he mentioned, now I just forgot to translate it, he mentioned about like Saddam Hussein created tribe leaders after 1991, and in the Iraqi society we call them Shuyukh al-Tis'in, which means tribe leaders of 1990s. Yes, that's true. I mentioned that, and I mentioned that today in Iraqi societies we have 3 types of sheikh tribe leaders. We have, according to the Iraqi society, they call them original tribe leaders and 1990s tribe leaders, and after 2003 tribe leaders, which appointed by Noor al-Maliki, and after 2003 the government, like Sahwa and Majalis Isnad, those tribe leaders appointed by the government and by Majlis al-Isnad. So we have 3 types of tribe leaders today in Iraq.
Thank you very much for your question. So any other questions or suggestions that they just doing now? Oh,
I just comment with Haider, but I think Haider, we need to translate my comment because I will talk in Arabic. أنت أشرت إلى منتصف القرن التاسع عشر، وكان المفروض أنه تحدد بالتحديد اللي تحدثت به هو كان صحيح جدا، لأنه منذ منتصف القرن التاسع عشر، واعتقد تحديدا في فترة مدحت باشا من حكم العراق، ظهر نظام هو نظام الطابو. نظام الطابو كان الهدف من عنده ترسيخ سلطة العشائر، وكان الهدف الأساسي من عنده هو طبعا اقتصاديا تحويل العلاقة الأبوية بين شيخ العشيرة من أب وراعي للعشيرة إلى جابي للضرائب من أجل أن يسلمها إلى الدولة العثمانية. كانت هذه البداية. أيضا في إشارة أخرى ممكن تشير.
Can I translate? Okay. So Mr. Ala, he mentioned about the point that Haider, he mentioned that he was quite correct about what he mentioned, because it's already have been founded during the Ottoman Empire, 19th century, and there was a rural system, they call it.
1969 to 1971. مدحت باشا.
During Midhat Pasha. During Midhat 18. So at that time there was a governor appointed from the Ottoman Empire. They called it Wali Midhat Pasha, and he had been created this kind of system. They called it Tabu.
هو كان نظام فرنسي اقترحوه على العثمانيين من اجل يسيطرون على عشائر، خصوصا عشائر الفرات الاوسط، لان كانت دائما ثائره بوجه العثمانيين ومن الصعب جدا جمع الضرائب. هذه مرحله. المرحله الاخرى
So he created this kind of system, and it was by according to the French rules, to control the tribes, especially in the southern and western part of Iraq. They call it Al-Furat al-Awsat, the tribes between the Euphrates River, to control the tribes, because there was demonstration, there was uprisings at that time.
المرحلة الثانية هي بعد الاحتلال البريطاني للعراق، وأيضا قامت النسبيال بتأسيس حزب سمي الحزب العراقي الحر. هذا الحزب جمع كل شيوخ العشائر، وأيضا تم استغلال العشائر مرة أخرى من أجل المحافظة على الأمن والاستقرار بالنسبة للبريطانيين في تلك المرحلة.
After that, during Miss Bell, she was the ambassador of the United Kingdom during the occupation of the England of Iraq, and she created such kind of a system also for what is it called?
حزب الحر العراقي.
The Iraqi Free Party, which she called, also to control the tribes in the south part of Iraq.
كل عشائر العراق.
The whole tribes of Iraq.
كل شيوخ العشائر أصبحوا أعضاء في هذا الحزب اللي شكلته النسبيال.
So all the tribe leaders of Iraq became members of this political party that created by Miss Bill at that time.
نعم، بعد ذلك استمرت هذه السياسة العشائرية. كل نظام حكم يحاول ترسيخ الحكم في العراق يستعين أحيانا بشيوخ العشائر من أجل السيطرة وفرض نظام الحكم. ولنظام صدام علاقات كبيرة مع العشائر، في أحيان كثيرة كان هناك علاقة مثلا ودعم لعشائر، مثلا الندوات أو الندى اللي هم على الحدود العراقية الإيرانية، كان يسلحهم وكان أثناء فترة الحرب العراقية.
So after that it became politicized, this kind of issues, and all of the political regimes came to Iraq. They used this kind of system. They support the tribes by financially, by by guns. Even during what happened during Saddam regime and during the Iranian-Iraqi war, there was a tribe called in the Dawat on the borders between Iraq and Iran, and Saddam, he supported them by guns because of the Iraqi-Iranian war at that time.
نعم ومرة أخرى النظام استخدم هذه السياسة في التسعينيات وأيضا في طبعا أنا أتحدث الآن في التسعينيات أتحدث من بحث بروفيسور ساكاي.
Also 1990s, also talking about 1990s.
شكرا.
Thank you for your comment. Your comment is very interesting. Yes, in the 19th century, the Ottoman, like Midhat Pasha, the Ottoman governor in Iraq, he led a lot of wars against the tribe, trying to control them. So that's why they introduced the Emiri and Tabu law to control the tribal societies. But actually, this is a plan did not fully successful because the tribe leaders and tribal societies recognized these policies to de-tribalize the society. And also the ignorance of the officer, like administration officers, about how to employ these rules. But when the British came, they made it more like they hired the tribe leaders to political offices, they create political parties for them. Most of them, they become in parliament members. And when Saddam, like in 1990s, every time in the media or newspaper, they were showing that the tribe leaders were dancing in front of Saddam Hussein and Saddam giving them weapons, gun, or he received presents from them. And during that time, there was selection in Iraq. So Saddam used some tribes to smuggle oil outside Iraq or import things from outside. So he used them in that way also.
ملاحظة مهمة جدا. العشيرة قبل 91 فيما بعد تختلف عن العشيرة بين العشرينات إلى التسعينات. كان للعشيرة نظام أو ما يسمى بالعرف القبلي، وكان يسمى هناك سنائن مثل الدستور، مثل التعليمات يعني الدستور، هذه قوانين عشائر وكانت تنصر يعني أحيانا المظلوم وكذا، يعني حتى تحافظ على الدولة، هيبة الدولة. اختلف الآن الموضوع، الآن البقاء الأقوى. يعني أنا سأعرف العشائر هسه اللي عندنا، المشكلة اللي عندنا اللي مساهم بأزمة البلد عندنا، أنه الآن العشيرة بدأت تاخذ سلطات أكثر مما هي، أكثر من العرف. واللي ساهم أكثر البرلمان الآن سن قانون العشائر، وهناك كثير من يعني رؤساء العشائر دخلوا البرلمان تحت هذا المسمى والآن يقاتلون، يعني بالعكس هم يعني يتحايلون الفرض لأخذ المزيد من السلطات يعني. وحتى الانتخابات اللي تتم الآن بالعراق والدكتور قايل لي أكثر نواب هم يعني على القبائل مالتهم. يعني أنا أعرف كثير من الناس يروح للعشيرة مالته والكبير العشيرة مالته وحتى تنتخبه، وهناك أكثر من 50 إلى 60 شخص راح للعشيرة انتخبته. تأثير العشيرة الآن قوي، ولكن مو بالاتجاه اللي كان قبل التسعينات. قبل التسعينات كان اتجاه العشيرة محترمة نفسها مع النظام مع الكذا، لكن الآن اختلفت الآن العشيرة. شكرا جزيلا.
So, yes, you're right. The tribes have norms, and when there's a conflict between two families or two tribes, usually the tribes follow like norms, not written, but they know it. And when I went to Iraq recently, I did field research there. They have, for example, in the Shia areas, the tribes follow what Sistani ordered them, so they have kind of norms. They follow it. Today, still, there is the problem of a lot of new tribe leaders, and that's a new problem in the Iraqi society and tribal society. Thank you very much.
Any question to other students?
I would like to ask Dr. Noureddin a question about dental anesthetists. Are there a replacement for the crown, normal crown? Because you mentioned they are capable of treating a tooth with a large decay area. And so what is the difference between them and the crown? And do they provide a good protection against heat or cold or cause less tooth sensitivity than the normal crown?
Yeah, actually, dental two-part question.
Yeah.
First, dental adhesive, it is not similar like a restorative material. Its function only to make the restorative material adhere to tooth structure or bond to the tooth structure. So for dental adhesive, we have like direct and indirect restoration. Crowns is considered as indirect restoration. We can use dental adhesive to make this restoration, indirect restoration, like dental crowns, to adhere to the tooth. And we have direct restoration, like the ordinary composite, as just saw on the slide. Dental adhesive basically have like just to make the restorative material to bond to tooth structures. It's important because it's offer an enhanced sealing ability. So dental crowns is okay, like just use normal sealing agent, but with dental adhesive, the strength and the stability of dental crowns will be stronger. Thank you for the question.
Okay, my question is also for Dr. Nadine. Actually, I am a material scientist before becoming an NGO worker, so I am very interested in your research.
Could you introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Gamma Rifai. I work in JVC, an NGO in Japan. I work as Iraq project officer, but before that, I am a material scientist. So I have a question about the remineralization. So I studied a little bit about artificial ECM.
ACMs?
Yes, so to create a scaffold for artificial tissue. So in this case, if you are researching remineralization, you need a scaffold for remineralization, right?
Yeah, it's kind of vehicle for to deliver the remineralization or the minerals. And usually in the tooth structure we have what we call hydroxyapatite. And this is like kind of hard tissue similar to bones and cartilage in our body. This kind of hard tissue has a high percentage of calcium. So basically, when calcium is removed from these structures, became weak. And normally in dentistry, I'm sure you heard it, like fluoride minerals. The problem is not like with the scaffold to deliver. We have like dentifrice and mouthwash and other kind of compound that are now very sufficient to deliver this kind of minerals. But sometimes these materials or this structure gets saturated with the fluoride, and since it is not a calcium, fluoride is still inferior to the calcium, so it's better to find like a better minerals to replace the lost calcium. Now we are in my department, they are investigating the use of silica and silver, but they are backing up from silver because of its discoloration to the tooth structure. So mainly the silica and other kinds of minerals.
Okay, so you use silica to create a vehicle for remineralization?
No, actually,
a replacement for mineral.
No, just a replacement for mineral, for calcium minerals. Okay. And they, like we are trying different kind, but the most popular one is the fluoride now, and it is used widely in dentifrice and mouthwashes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
Thank you. I want to ask Dr. Rahman, do you think from your research that the UNESCO found massive destroyed weapons in Iraq?
This is a difficult question, and as I mentioned before, it's a controversial issue because all of the time UNESCO inspectors, they insist that there was something hidden behind the investigation and monitoring. But according to the books that I read, done by Scaffold was the head of the inspectors. He said, so far we didn't find anything, so there was nothing. Like it was like just politicized, it's just a game, and they use it as an excuse to invade Iraq because they didn't find anything. And until now, actually, Al-Mubik have been continued to work on even after top-down Saddam regime. So after 2003 until 2007, then they gave up. They said, okay, we don't find anything, guys. Let's close the files. And they submit their document to Hoshar Zibari, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iraq at that time. They said, it's done. Our official job is done. We didn't find anything so far. But I'm thinking more about the documents that I found recently. Maybe I can find something interesting. That's why the reason I'm still on the process, and hopefully I can find something. Thank you.
Any other questions? Maybe we can have another one or two questions. No? Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum. My question is to Dr. Ahmad. I heard from your introduction that you've been in Japan since 2009, and I wanted to know what did you study before in Chiba University, and did you stay all this period in Japan and getting another scholarship to study in your university?
Actually, I was a master's student at that time when I came to Japan, and I was at Tokyo University of Foreign Studies, not at Chiba University. And at that time, I got scholarship, Mombosho scholarship, so I applied for this scholarship from Baghdad, from the Japanese embassy. I came to Japan in 2009. I stayed in Tokyo University of Foreign Studies for 4 years under supervision of Sakai Sensei. And then I just extended for the scholarship, and I went to Kyushu University for the PhD under supervision of Yamao Sensei. So I got the full scholarship of Mombosho in 7 years.
Thank you very much. So we can only say thank you to Japan, and I think
Yeah, of course.
Ministry of
9 years, I mean, my life in Japan.
Foreign Affairs and Ministry of
I'm spending here in Japan.
And
Get a lot of
I think your Japanese is so good.
Still stuck.
A lot of Iraqi students prefer not to study Japanese, but your pronunciation is amazing. Thank you very much. I think.
But I'm encouraging you. I encourage all of the students. This is very important. I mean, nice
I
opportunity.
speak well for now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Don't give up. Just try. Whatever.
I won't give up. I love Japan so much. Thank you very much.
Just
You're
continue.
my
Don't give up.
role model. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Okay, then if you don't have any other further questions, I'd like to close this panel. And as a teacher teaching in the university on the Middle East, or especially in Iraq, I'm very, very proud of all of you to study here. And I hope that the more and more Iraqi students come to Japan to learn something. I don't know whether we are able to teach everything, but at least I believe that we have something to teach you in some way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.